Verbs are the beating heart of every sentence, injecting life and action into our communication. They are the words that bring our thoughts and ideas to life, allowing us to express actions, experiences, and states of being in a way that is both dynamic and engaging. They are words that describe an action, state, or occurrence. Whether it's running, thinking, or existing, verbs are essential in conveying what is happening in any given moment. Without verbs, our sentences would be lifeless and incomplete, lacking the dynamism that allows us to convey meaning and express ourselves effectively. Imagine trying to write an essay or tell a story without the use of verbs. It would be nearly impossible to communicate your ideas clearly. Imagine trying to describe a thrilling football match without using verbs like kick, run, or score. The narrative would fall flat. Verbs are what give our descriptions energy and movement, making the events we describe come alive in the minds of our audience. Verbs empower us to paint vivid pictures with our words, to transport our listeners and readers to different times and places, and to convey the full spectrum of human experience. They allow us to share our experiences and emotions in a way that is both relatable and compelling. Whether we're describing a passionate love affair, a fierce battle, or the quiet contemplation of a summer's day, verbs are the tools we use to breathe life into our stories. They help us to create a sense of immediacy and presence, making our narratives more engaging and immersive. Mastering verbs is therefore fundamental to achieving fluency in English. It involves not only understanding their meanings, but also knowing how to use them correctly in different contexts to convey the intended message. It's not just about memorizing conjugations and tenses. It's about developing an intuitive understanding of how verbs function within a sentence and how they interact with other elements of grammar to create meaning. This deeper comprehension allows us to use verbs more effectively, making our communication more precise and impactful. By mastering verbs, we gain the ability to articulate our thoughts and ideas with greater clarity and confidence, enhancing our overall communication skills and enabling us to connect more deeply with others. The world of verbs is incredibly diverse, encompassing everything from simple actions to complex states of being. Verbs are the engines of our sentences, driving the action and providing the necessary information about what is happening, who is doing it, and when it is taking place. At the A1 level, learners encounter basic verbs like be, have, do, go, and eat, essential building blocks for constructing simple sentences. These verbs are fundamental because they allow learners to express basic needs, actions, and states of being, forming the core of everyday communication. These verbs are the foundation upon which a learner's vocabulary and grammatical understanding are built. Mastering these basic verbs gives learners the confidence to start forming their own sentences and engaging in simple conversations. As learners progress to the C2 level, they encounter a wider and more nuanced range of verbs, including modal verbs like could, should, and would, which express possibility, obligation, and conditional statements. These verbs add layers of meaning and subtlety to language, allowing for more precise and varied expression. They also grapple with irregular verbs, those that don't follow the standard rules of conjugation like go, went, gone, and see, saw, seen. Irregular verbs can be challenging because they require memorization and practice, but they are essential for fluency and understanding. They delve into the intricacies of phrasal verbs, where a verb combines with a preposition or adverb to create a new meaning, such as look up or put off. Phrasal verbs are particularly important in English because they are commonly used in both spoken and written language, adding richness and variety to communication. Verb tenses allow us to pinpoint actions and events within time, providing crucial context to our communication. At the most basic level, we have the simple tenses present, past, and future. The simple present, for example, is used to describe habitual actions or unchanging truths. The sun rises in the east, while the simple past describes completed actions in the past. Yesterday I walked to the park. As learners progress, they encounter the perfect tenses, which express completed actions with a connection to the present. I finished my homework, so I can go out now. They learn about the continuous tenses, which describe ongoing actions. She is studying for her exams right now. And they grapple with the complexities of the perfect continuous tenses, which combine elements of both. I've been waiting for you for an hour. Mastering verbs is not just about understanding their meanings and tenses, it's also about using them correctly within the framework of English grammar. One fundamental rule is subject-verb agreement, which dictates that the verb must agree in number with its subject. In other words, a singular subject requires a singular verb, and a plural subject requires a plural verb. He walks versus they walk. Another crucial aspect of verb usage is understanding verb forms. Verbs change form depending on their tense, person, and number. For example, the verb to eat takes different forms in the present tense depending on the subject. I eat, you eat, he/she/it eats, we eat, they eat. Section 5. Unlocking fluency, gerunds, infinitives, and phrasal verbs. As learners approach higher levels of proficiency, they encounter more complex verb constructions that add nuance and sophistication to their language. Gerunds, which are verbs ending in that function as nouns, like swimming is my favorite sport, and infinitives, which are the base form of the verb preceded by to, such as I want to travel the world, expand the ways in which verbs can be used within a sentence. Phrasal verbs, a hallmark of idiomatic English, pose a particular challenge for learners. These combinations of verbs and prepositions or adverbs often have meanings that are not immediately obvious from the individual words. For example, to put up with means to tolerate, while to break down can mean to stop functioning or to become emotionally overwhelmed. Section 6. Scaling the heights of English proficiency, advanced verb concepts. For those striving for mastery of the English language, delving into advanced verb concepts is essential. These concepts not only enhance your grammatical accuracy, but also enrich your expressive capabilities, allowing you to communicate more precisely and effectively. Causative verbs like make, have, and get express the idea of causing someone or something else to do something. They are particularly useful in both everyday conversation and formal writing, providing a way to indicate responsibility or influence. For example, I made him clean his room. This sentence clearly shows that the action of cleaning was caused by someone else, adding a layer of meaning that simple verbs can't convey. Understanding the distinction between stative verbs, which describe states of being, like I believe in you, and dynamic verbs which describe actions such as she runs every morning is crucial for accurate verb usage. Stative verbs often relate to thoughts, emotions, relationships, senses, states of being, and measurements. Conditional sentences, which express hypothetical situations and their consequences, rely heavily on a nuanced understanding of verb tenses and modal verbs. These sentences often start with if and are divided into different types, such as zero, first, second, and third conditionals, each serving a unique purpose. The subjunctive mood, a verb form used to express wishes, suggestions, or hypothetical situations that are unlikely or contrary to fact, like if I were you, I wouldn't do that, is another grammatical structure that often trips up even advanced learners. Mastering the subjunctive mood can significantly improve your ability to articulate complex ideas and hypothetical scenarios. Section 7. Practice makes perfect exercises to test your verb prowess. 1. Identify the verbs in the following sentences. A. The dog barked at the mailman. B. She's reading a fascinating book. They have been traveling for months. If I had known, I would have told you. 2. Choose the correct verb form to complete each sentence. A. He go to the gym every morning. They eat dinner when the phone rang. C. I study English for 3 years. D. She work on that project all week. 3. Rewrite the following sentences using the gerund or infinitive form of the underlined verb. A. It is important to arrive on time, but I enjoy walking in the park. Section 8. Answers to practice exercises. 1. A barked B is reading. C. Have been travelling. D. Had known, would have told. 2A goes B. Were eating. C. Have been studying. D. Has been working. 3AA. Arriving on time is important. B. I enjoy taking a walk in the park. Section 9. The gateway to fluency, mastering verbs for English mastery. Mastering verbs is not merely a matter of ticking off grammatical rules, it's about unlocking the true expressive power of the English language. It's about wielding verbs with precision and confidence to convey nuances of time, possibility, and action. It's about transforming your language from a collection of disjointed words into a vibrant tapestry of meaning and emotion. Through dedicated study and consistent practice, you can master the intricacies of English verbs, paving the way for greater fluency, accuracy, and eloquence in your communication. Remember, the journey of language learning is ongoing, and each verb you conquer brings you one step closer to achieving your language goals.